Welcome back to Shapes 2. My name is Nilaus and we are back here with another episode, and that means another challenge to solve and another cool design that I've come up with that will surprisingly solve something complex in a very simple way. Let's see. What we're going to do now is we're going to be looking at the pin pusher and how we deal with pins. And first we're going to be exploring how they work, and then I'm going to be throwing that away, and then we're going to do something nice and hacky and cool. Yeah, first we also get these levels, and let's have a look at if there's anything we want. We can basically get everything. I'm a little bit cautious about getting the train capacity up because that's already getting pretty big stations here. Oh, logic gates suddenly opened up a lot of other things. Doesn't matter, we have so many points that it doesn't really matter. We can unlock that one and unlock that one, and we can unlock all these as well. There you go. So I just spent all the points for nothing we really need. Right, what we do need though is figure out how the pin pusher works. I have actually made this pin pusher design myself ahead. It is incredibly simple, just 3 of these next to each other, so we can use the cutting template, and what it does is it puts pins underneath. Very simple. So if we look at a task, then let's look at something like this one. It's going to be one of the first ones, so that would mean that we build the first level, the second level, and when we build the third level, we just pin push it one up, and then it's going to be happy. So this will basically be treated as 3 levels. I also just realized that hard difficulty only has 4 levels, so there's no 5th level, but there is an insane difficulty where I've actually been thinking about this. I've designed this for this insane difficulty, or maybe that's just not very relevant yet. But that also means that this one where we have pins on the top, then it's going to be like, how the hell would we do that? Because we would need that. The way that works is that if we put, for example, we make a shape that has these 2 levels and then has one shape with 2 levels of pins underneath, and we take that shape with 2 pins underneath and stack it on top, that would be 5 levels, and we can't support 5 levels in hard difficulty, so the top level gets thrown away. Let's put that to the test and see how that works. So we're going to be putting these here, and then we're going to be doing a stacking there. I have put the pin pusher onto the stacking because it's kind of a stacking mechanic there, and then I have to make sure that I put the pins on top. So what would happen now, this is a 2 shape, and this is a 2 high shape, and this is a 3 high shape, right? Look at this one. 1, 2, 3 levels, and that gets stacked on top of something that's 2 levels. Eventually we get the first ones coming out there, and they go in, and then once we have the first ones going out there, let's see, and there we go. And you can see that they actually just create them up here because the 5th level gets removed. Right, so that's one thing we solve, how to get those in the top level. But what we need for the milestone is something like this. That's easy. But we also need something where we have in the ground level have one of these. So how would we do that? Well, what if we take, when we stack this on top, what if we do it in a slightly different way? What if we don't put the whole thing on top of 1 shape, but on top of 2 shapes? So what I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to be starting by saying we only want 1 level stack here, and we get that. So what we're doing now is taking a random shape, 3 levels, and then I am going to want to stack it on top. But before we stack it on top, what if we actually had a design that, let's say, just cut half of it out? What would that look like now? And this shape is, you can see here, 2 levels high, pins and something. And if we get something here that is 3 levels high, 1, 2, 3, then we cut it so we only half of it exists, and then we try to stack something that's a full shape in 2 levels on top of a partial stack. Then what would that look like? What happens is that we actually have, oops, here, there we go. We actually have them on the ground floor, and that's how you make this shape. So this got me thinking of like, well, what if we had like 2 of these things, right? What if we had 2 of them? And what if we, after we do this, we take the whole damn thing, rotate it, cut half, and then we do the same thing over here. We rotate it and we cut half, and then in this case we're going to rotate it again, and then we cut Do you follow? And then we stack it on top. So what I'm doing now is I'm actually taking the whole thing here, rotating it. The reason why I'm rotating it is because the stuff that the half destroyer is cut out, that means it leaves only the dots left. Huh. So I just do the same thing over on this side, leaving only the dots left. Hopefully, eventually. And then we have here, we have dots on the right hand side, and over here we should eventually get dots on the left hand side. Why is it not? Oh, it just takes forever. Let's wait and see. So here we have it. We have now combined the east half and the western half of only half dots, and then we actually have a full dot level here. So I was thinking, what if I actually took this one and only made it sort of dots on the side that doesn't have anything, and I just built the whole damn thing again over here, and you can see that it doesn't work, because what happens now if I only say sort of have this on the western half and this on the eastern half, then it just falls down nicely next to each other and it doesn't do anything. So this one is a proof of concept that just answers the question, no, you can't just use half of it. So with this we actually have to or we should try to build something that is a little bit more robust. So I'm going to build it down here just for test purposes here. Let's assume that we get this in somewhere. And actually I will just be doing it like this, I think. Yeah. So what we have is now we have a 3-stack shape there, 1, 2, 3 stacks. And what I want to do with this one is I will split it along the half side like so. Then I'm going to stack on top of it there and here. Because you go in, and you go in, and you can go there. So what I need to stack on top is... Oh, hold on. This is not... Oh, this is cut in half. Yes. So this is now half 3-stacked shape. And then I stack the pins on top. So I'm going to be doing that here. We get the pins. They're going to be from that location and that location. And they will just be going... You go in here and you go in there. Because it doesn't matter what shape it is, I'm going to need it. So what we have now, what we get when you stack it on top, is that we will have one half of it being cut in one way and one half in the other way. So that should, if my math is correctly, be one of those should be like this, and the other one should be like that. Or it's the other way around. Yeah, I think it should be like this. We'll try it. Okay, so let's have a look. What does this mean? This means that we have... Funny how it's only the last bit. So this is on now dots on the left-hand side. This is dots on the right-hand side. That's exactly what we wanted to see. And then we can take this and merge it in. Like that. And then we actually have a full lane of stacked. So we now have a design that looks like this that we can use. So what if we, since we're looking at converting this one, we would actually need an extra level on this in order to support an extra shape. That means the whole damn thing here would have to be changed with including pins. Whew, that's a major overhaul, but it is definitely something that can be done. The first thing we're going to need is we're going to need some place where we have some full shapes, like for example here. Those are nice full shapes, but we also need like really big areas that we can use. It's funny that I don't want to use the good shapes. I want to use like bad shapes like this one, which are not reused. But the wedge shape, like I don't want to use that. I want to use like these things here. So the question is, how many can I actually fit in here? Like how much can I take? Because I need 3 levels just stacked, and I need another level stacked. So I actually need 4 full lanes in order to do the full thing. And if we just look at our design here, where did you go? You went here, like that one. I'm going to take this from a train perspective. And where do we want to go? This is one of the inputs. Yeah, so this input, let's use this as the baseline and find somewhere that we have some junk shapes that are big areas that we can use. Like this is a big area, but I don't really want to use that shape. Like here's some big areas. Let's just use these shapes. So let's say this, and this could be how we do it, because I actually did I get this? No, I did not. never copy the lower level here, 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 and here. So what I'm getting now is I want to get a train like the other trains here. They come in with 4 full wagons in, and they get split into 4 different sequential loading. I want to do the same thing. So I need to build something that is multiplicative by 4. And that means what I'm going to be bringing in is a train station. That'll be an unloader here, 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 and here. And this train station is going to be triple shapes. So this one gets triple shapes inbound. And the other thing, I'm just going to copy you. You're going to be here. There we go. That will be the shapes, the pinned shapes. So we get those out, and then we can get all of it going in here. Into something happy family here. Funny how shift click doesn't work with trains. And this would actually just simulate, this monstrosity here would simulate having just mined the pins. So all I need to do now is set up some stuff for this one. The thing is, with the new stuff that they have been saying is that each of these could actually just be fed by a single belt. But unfortunately, this cannot, because this goes in 1 and 2. So this would be 2 full space belts. But I think that actually, if I don't want to do this, I could also make it in a slightly different way of saying this is 1 space belt, and then I'm going to go in from the other side and say like that. It's definitely not like that. These are the 2 space belts. There we go. So that's 2 space belts of one and 1 space belt of the other, which would mean in order to feed this, I would need a lot. So I'm going to be shoveling in here and seeing how much I can wrangle out of this space here and that one. And so this is the final form for our design. What we're seeing here is each of these is stacking basically taking 1, 2, 3 levels. So this comes out as 3 levels. This comes out as 3 levels and 3 levels and 3 levels. And that will, 4 times that will fill up an entire space belt going over here. Up here, this is a lot easier because it's just 1 level or one input. And when I say 1 input, that means 12 lanes, right? So this is 12 lanes of stacked, 12 lanes of stacked, 12 lanes of stacked, 12. So 48 lanes of stacked with pins. So let's put those in here and also put those in here. And then work on our train. This one is going to be like that. So let's get that. And let's get some trains in here. I have no idea what color. I guess the other ones are all red. So let's also just follow along with that path here with not shifting that. And then we get like this. So that means we now have a method here for generating 1 train or multiple train loads. This should generate just as fast as the mining of, let's say, this one here. Now we're just basically mining pins with this design. If it works, we're going to be checking back. And then unfortunately, you can see that also leaves a lot out here in terms of everything unfortunately has to be killed and redone. That's going to be a major hassle because I need to get an extra level in. All right, I think this is it. This is how I want it. And let me just see, I need to add the trains back again. So 2 of these and 2 of these, 2 of these, not the white one. I think we did that. There you go. We'll do it like this. And then this will be our design. So what I'm doing now is I'm sort of unloading the first, the second, the third, and the fourth and go back. And then it can be a nice symmetric pattern. So we also have a new train design for this. And this one will just have to be put in up here. That's actually really neat. It actually, to the point, you can also say that it looks better. And unfortunately, we'll have to kill everything because we also have to move into higher tiers. Let's see. I actually want to, well, you know what? Let's go crazy with this and just say, okay, where do we want it? We want it like this. Here. And This one has to go merge in. Just make sure that it doesn't clip this, because then it can't. We have to leave the space open for sort of returns. And then there's just a little bit of hassle of cleaning out the belts. The ones that are different is shoot, I don't know. We need to do all of these different, right? Well, all of these also have to be different, but I think I want to retain everything the same. So the only change is actually the last one. That makes sense, right? So the last one would be dots. Otherwise it gets too weird, which means that if I look at this, it's not great, because I'm actually getting number 1. What? You're supposed to be number 1? Okay. Circles are number 1 and squares number 2. Okay, so I guess this one has to be reconfigured a little bit in order to build it. That's also really funny how they go in there. That's colored trains. Colored trains should be on the ground floor. Are you kidding me? They don't belong in there. The colored trains should be here. Okay. Well, never mind. I'm going to redesign this one so it makes sense for me. So I flipped it and moved it a little bit around. Moved the rails. So now they're coming in very nice here. Now there's 3 on the bottom and 2 on the top. The circles are coming in. And they are just... they're skipping? They're skipping. Oh, right. That's because it's full. So that's fine that you're skipping. I don't want it to actually get stuck here. But I want these to go in. This is the next one. And then you can see here, some of these are struggling, but they're not getting any pins in yet. And it's because the pins are just not coming. But the pins are coming, but they're a little bit slow. There's 2 more. So I put 5 trains on the pins because they're so far away. Honestly, I could have built it anywhere closer, but now I built it there, and that's just kind of where they're going to be settling in and whatever. It's using a few more resources than I needed. But as we get in here, we will now see that these are unloading level 1 pins just to go in, and then we'll start seeing the trains filling up here and getting it sort of fed into the next step. Right, that is pretty good. Let's have a look at this shape here. This one is a weird shape, and I really don't want to use this as the method or for what we want to do, because this has to be a permanent one since it generates operator level shapes. So I don't want to use this for this, but I could use it for sort of generating the first ones. But I'd rather want to take a look at some milestones. We're going to be testing some milestones today to see if they are working. And let's see what we have. We used to have a lot of stuff. It has to be something with pins in it, right? Yeah, okay. This one has pins in it. They're not going to be super advanced right now. This one, does it even have pins? Yes, it has a little bit of pins. So maybe we'll take that one as our baseline. What about you? You also have some pins here. Oh, that's an interesting shape. Cool. Right, and let's take this one. So we start seeing the first ones coming in, and they will be put into these 5 tiles now, and we see the first pins actually being ready. Nice. So the first shape is, ooh, interesting. So I built one more of these, upgraded one of the other sides, and hopefully that's also working now. There was a little bit of a problem with these other ones where the rectangle and the wedge was opposite. So it messed up all the systems, of course. But we are getting out here in our new shape builder here that is just slowly chugging along, and it will build some more pins for us. But we completed our first milestone, and now we're going to be going over here and then trying to see, so how is this going to work? Well, should I think of this as level 3 or level 2? I don't really care. I don't really care. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go pin this one. It's a circle that gets pinned. No, it's actually not. I was about to say we're not going to use that pinning anymore. We're simply going to say, you know what? I need to color it red here, and then I just need to merge it on top there, because I already have the pins like that. And then I just get the color as usual. There we go. And I have made room for this. Yeah, and I'm gonna cut all of that out so I don't have anything residual, and go inbound. So what this means is we color it, we take the circle, make it red, and then stack it on the wrong way stacking. There. I am going to stack it the other way. 5 stack and this way. There we go. Then it gets stacked correctly. The red ones get stacked on top of that one. And of course, when we're talking about full shapes, this is way more complicated than just doing the pin pusher. But I wanted to try this so that we can get a sense of it. What I'm also going to do is I'm also going to do the same thing over on this side. And we're going to be getting the 5th one in here. We are not getting... The pins are not coming in yet, or what? Nope, but the first pins are being made, and the train is about to depart-ish. So we will get some pins in here, so we can start working on one more shape. Let's find a good shape that actually has some good pins on it. That's non-trivial. That one, yeah, let's call that non-trivial. Or we could just take the first one. That is so trivial. This one's also really trivial. We don't want to do that. We want to get something that's a little less trivial. We'll take this one. So, and then try to build that on here. So the first level, we do that without pins. So I'm going to skip that and just move on to when we have done it. And we're ready for the next ones. Let's take a look at those with a mind of focusing on how we do this. So what do we now have? So now this one actually changes. So the first and the third floor are the same. Isn't that funny? Because I actually just couldn't figure out how to do this properly, because that's actually not at all how I should have been doing it. This is funny. Okay, anyway, we might actually need this again. But it was actually very incorrect, because I should have been treating this as 3 levels, and I treated it as 2 levels, which I really shouldn't be doing. So anyway, second level. No, first level. Top level is going to be, the third level, 1, 2, 3, is going to be just a red colored circle. Leave it here, and like that. So that's a red circle. The red circle has to come on top of something that is going to be this. Is going to be cut in half, and I'm also cutting the stars in half, and then I'm going to see where they are rotating. You need to rotate counterclockwise, and then means you need to rotate clockwise. Clockwise, counterclockwise, and the spikes have to be colored, so they will be here. And that means we need to red one again. That goes up here, and we need to merge them together. That's here, and then merge them together with the stuff that comes from there, from there, from there, and that's it. And I'm going to be just making sure that we delete all of that. That should be a red circle. Is the red circle coming in? Doesn't seem like the red circle is really working very well. Oh, that's because this is a color mixer and not a painter. There. And are you painting or are you color mixing? You're also color mixing. There we go. And then we can go over to the other part. I have also added the last one, which should be getting some stars in here or some pins in here. It's going to take a little bit of time, but they are going to get some pins in. Let's respawn you, so you will be getting it. It comes in here, and it gets up on the third level here. So all that should be reestablished, except that I don't have the colors yet. Yeah, that goes down and in. So now the colors are also migrated back onto this line, but that's not the one we're using. We're using this one here. So we're going to be looking at that. That's going to be, we're now treating this as 3 levels. Remember that. The first level is going to be the same. Second level is going to be 3/4 pin. Okay. Funny, I don't have one that actually just excludes everything but a pin. That one is kind of the opposite. So I have to basically split the pins like this, and then take one of them and then just split it like this, I think. Yeah, and then see what we get. That's not correct. Here, I need to rotate it then. Good. And that gets us 1 pin, and this one gets us double pins. And then we just merge them back together. Right. Which ones don't I need? Oh, maybe I should actually have done it. Could I have done it here? It doesn't matter. Well, does it? Yes, because now that's the top right-hand pin. These are the There. So if I rotate this one clockwise here, then we should have this going to the bottom and this one going to the top right. And that's going to be where we need to merge them back together. Yeah. And there. No colors. They are pins. They don't do colors. And that gets just put on top. But first you have to be put on top with something else. And that's going to be the top level, which is currently... Oh, it's that thing. Okay, so that means it's only one of them. All right, so we go here, we take the diagonal, and that's the diagonal of the squares. Is it the right way? Yes, it is. So we're going to be taking half of that one. We're going to split it side by side. There, which means I get one pin in top right. That one needs to be colored. And it don't need to be color mixed. Color mix it like this. There we go. And that gets to merge back together again. Like that. So that's the diagonal. Then we need the lower left-hand corner. We have a design for that here. And then we just have to rotate it by one counterclockwise, and ooh, that's a bad one. Huh. Interesting. I'll rotate it. I'll flip this like that. I think it doesn't change anything. Yeah. Let's see if it changes anything in terms of what we're getting. This is the top right hand. Top right hand, yes, and you are going to be merged in, and that's the top shelf. That goes in and gets in. Right, and so that is the next level. And now, as you can see, when we treat this as exactly as a normal shape, it gets a lot easier. Another shape complete, and we can continue. And well, that doesn't actually change much. That's just one of the levels, the ground level here being turned another color. So that's not a problem. We'll just move it one up. And you can go, oops, here. It's actually really nice how easy that is, but then we just add the color, and that's going to be color here, and we need a color mixing because we need it to be yellow. There. And that goes in, and that goes in. And that should be basically it for us now. Then the only thing we need is just the other one. And that's the second one. There we go. What is the change here? And then it's actually interesting because now we have another shape, but it overlaps here. But with our system, it's super easy to make. So no worries there. We just need to basically get another thing on top here. And that means all of this and all of that just needs to be going away. There. That should be fine. And then we get over here. What is it? That's... None of these shapes are new to us at this point, so we'll just add this one. And let's have a look at the final milestones. So this is completed, and the final one is just adding a white happy face and then 2 pins. So that's actually perfect for what we want. We'll take this one out and we'll let the other one just empty. And over here we'll just take half. Here the half for the pins and the half for the circle, and then we'll just rotate them, and this should be rotated clockwise and this should be rotated counterclockwise. Clockwise, counterclockwise. This over here has to be colored white, and that means we need some color mixing there and there. That's all very nice. There we go. And they need to be merged on top of each other now. That's going to be like this. And then that gets just placed on top of the other ones. And then it's all just a matter of removing all the other junk that's been accruing and then waiting for it. Well, the last one here, let's have a look at what that requires. It looks like the only difference is that all the uncolored stuff is now colored white instead. That looks like that's the only change. So that means on ground level, this has to be turned white. Again, nothing to do with pins. And on this level here, we have to turn this one and this one white. Okay, so that means a little bit of different merge here. That means these merge together instead, like that, and then turn white, like that. Once that's done, it's all back to the same. There we go. We have now completed 2 more milestones. There we go. And we have enough points to unlock the last ones. The only thing we have left to unlock is the train capacity, so we can do that. A couple more, and then we don't have anything to spend our research points on. But what we've also done is today we've built some really cool designs. We have now migrated over to a much nicer, by the way. This is much nicer, this design, by the way. I should have done it the start. I can also see that if I sort of wrangled it a little bit, maybe I could use the transfer stations, but don't really see the point. Ugh, ugly, old-fashioned. This is much better. But we sort of cheated our way with a pin factory. We have the pin factory up here. This factory makes 4 full lanes, 4 belts of 12 lanes, 12 belts of pins. And that's just being sent in here, and everything is stockpiled, and we have 3 of these factories to support our 3 task builders. So in next episode, if we want to continue, let me know, by the way, if you want me to continue the series. I enjoy making it, and I think there's still some really cool things still yet to be uncovered. The 3rd floor, don't really know what we're going to use that for, but we have it. And then more importantly, we have train deliveries is actually the one that really makes a big difference, because we can't really scale up at this point before we get train deliveries, because we're simply running out of things. We can only get a maximum of 12 lanes times 3, 36 times, so 244 belts inbound, only 144 belts in, and that's just not enough for us. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have, be sure to hit the like button. If you want to get access to the blueprints, they are available to Patreon supporters. So thank you everyone who's supporting the channel and the work I do here on the channel. So thank you. Until next time, take care and stay effective.